Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The individual that I chose for the purposes of this assignment is Andrew Carnegie, who's known as a steel mogul. However, he was also a very wealthy philanthropist, another side of him that a lot of people don't know as well. Two of the primary sources that I chose are books. One of them is an autobiography by Mr. Carnegie himself. Another one is an article that he wrote, which is The Gospel of Wealth, which he turned into a book. And then the last primary source document that I chose was a newspaper article, which has a letter in which Andrew Carnegie expresses his concern about adopting a silver standard. So I'm going to start off with Andrew Carnegie's biographies. The part that intrigued me the most, specifically in regards to railroads, which I was always fascinated with when I was a young child. So Andrew Carnegie's start came in the railroad industry, specifically at a time when our nation was fighting amongst each other during the Civil War. So he worked with the Pennsylvania railroads and the Pittsburgh railroads, and therefore he got his start right there. So he was pointing out how he was in charge of the supervision of the fixing of railroads when they were getting sabotaged by Confederate saboteurs and actually building new lines to move Union troops as expeditiously as possible to the front lines, basically getting men and equipment and material to the front as quickly as possible. And he kind of saw the effects of battle in the first and second battle of Bull Run. So he got his start there. And then from there, he went on to building bridges. He really was advocating for steel, which, coincidentally was the industry in which he was an expert and very profitable in, pointing out that the steel bridges would be much better than the obsolete wooden bridges in the long run. So that was his next venture that intrigued me as well. Another article that kind of intrigued me came from a letter that he actually published, that was published in the New York Times, which I didn't imagine him to be writing, which he was arguing against the silver standard that President Williams Jennings Bryan was advocating. This kind of caught me off guard, so that intrigued me a lot. So therefore, there's a couple of salient themes from this article, and his arguments are based on a couple key points. The first key point was that the gold dollar, or I'm sorry, the gold standard at the time was equal to a dollar, and therefore the gold dollar was equal to $1 versus if they switched to silver, now it would take two silver dollars to equate to that one gold dollar. The second one was that a gold backed dollar would work in a gold economy versus a silver backed dollar probably wouldn't work so well. The third one he pointed out was related to the cost of living, pointing out that the cost of items with a gold standard will cause items of silver standard to actually go up. So you would need more silver to equate to that gold. So, and fourth, he pointed out that the wages for silver countries would actually go down. Now, he cited examples such as China, Japan, and Brazil, and he pointed out there that unhappy workers would lead to a lack of production. It could actually be detrimental to industry. The last article that actually turned into a book I'm going to focus on is The Gospel of Wealth. What really caught my eye was his philanthropy, which I really did not know about. And he actually advocates very wealthy individuals that they should reinvest their time, their efforts, and their financial means into ventures that are profitable for the community at large. Now, he's looking at long-term investments in terms of the libraries where we can pick up knowledge, the arts, schools, and other ventures where we can really focus on creating the next generation of leaders to successfully take over industries. So that is a very intriguing point that I definitely did not see in him, which definitely caught my attention. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd be curious to see the figures you chose, and please provide me feedback on my presentation. Thank you. God bless.